These boys know the routine. 6:15 every morning, they're out here waiting on me. You see I've dumped the feed out, and you see I do a couple of things differently than most people. You see, I guess the first thing I'm gonna talk about is one, if I gotta let my dad or my wife or somebody else feed these steers, if I can't do it one day, I can walk in there and have no fear of getting trampled. But someone who's not used to fooling with them, I don't necessarily trust, so I want them to be able to dump the feed over the fence. So I have the feeder set up where they can just dump it right over the fence. The other thing is anybody who uses these cheap feeders like this knows that these cows love to step in them. So what'll happen is they're on one side and the grain's more on the other because they push it over there, they step in the trough and they break them. If you hang them where all the feed sits down in the one corner closest to them, I find they don't jump in those feeders much and tear them up. So I've had these for quite some time now, and they're still going good. But this group, you know, a lot of people wonder, thought you were a grass-fed farm or whatever, but I could tell you, I live in Louisiana where obesity is a way of life, and most people want the fattest, juiciest beef you can provide. So I never do like full grain finishing. Like these steers have free access to pasture. They come in here in my catch pen, but they can go out into the field. So they eat pasture and they get some grain. So I tell people it's kind of the best of both worlds, where you're not getting an animal that's 100% grain fed, but it is going to be fatty and juicy and delicious, and it's still going to have that some of that grass-fed flavor. So I think this is working out really well for us, where the people who want the fattier meat, we do grain feed some of them like this. So one other thing is, you can see right out there, that's the gate to our catch pen. So when I go to load these animals to bring them to the butcher, they're used to coming right here. So a week or two before, I'll park the trailer in that gate. I'll even start feeding them up into it a little bit, and so that when it's time to go to the butcher, it's super easy to catch these steers. They're used to running up this way, and easy to get loaded in the trailer. Now these black ones are a little bit smaller. These two red ones are going to be going to the butcher in September. These black ones are only about 1.5 years old. They're actually not going to go to the butcher until next year. But while I'm feeding these two, I'm going to let them eat a little bit. Anyway, that's just a little bit about what we feed. And like, you know, talking about the corn and the pellets, you can see down in there. I mix them. I find if I give them just pure corn, they do well, but they can get sick off of it. So I mix it with some pellets, and I can feed them a lot more of it. So when I am grain feeding the animals, you can see I buy the feed in bulk. Usually I prepare a week's worth of feed, so that in the morning I can just come out here right before work and dump it out. It takes me a minute maybe, but I mix two different types of feed. I have regular whole corn and I have a pellet feed, and I mix them and feed it every day. So I start them off at, I don't know, something like 2 pounds a day per animal, 3 pounds a day per animal, somewhere in there, and I'll work them up to the point of basically as much as they'll eat, which for most animals, like we mostly had the Dexters, they'll get up where they're eating 15 or so pounds a day per head. Some of these are a little bit bigger, like this red guy right here. He's a half Beefmaster, half South Pole. I'm guessing he's probably going to eat at least 20 pounds a day by the time we get to the end of it. So we'll see. But yeah, they grow fast when you put them on feed like this.